Hello everyone, my name is Anthony Aguirre and I'm a senior in high school, and I have written and researched this speech on enforcing our borders, state versus federal rights. Whose job is it? Every year, an estimated 500,000 people cross the United States borders illegally. The U.S. Census Bureau estimated 8.7 million illegal immigrants were here in 2000. The federal government must take action in protecting the borders. After all, they have claimed it as their responsibility. However, Homeland Security has done little concerning the flow of immigrants coming illegally. Enforcing border control is needed for the safety of United States citizens and for their property. The government needs to do something because crime is going up. In a testimony before the House Subcommittee on Immigration, Border Security and Claims, District Attorney John M. Morganelli stated, quote, "Unfortunately, the majority of illegal aliens who are here are engaged in criminal activity, and over 25% of today's federal prison population are illegal aliens," end quote. In addition, states are losing money to benefit programs that illegal aliens are using. As reported by the National Research Council, quote, "Illegal alien migration into the United States costs American taxpayers $346 billion annually," end quote. The federal government claims that its job is to protect the nation's borders. However, due to their indifference and the growing problems that the states are facing, the states must act to protect themselves. I will explain the role of the federal government to enforce the borders, the state government's rights to enforce their borders, and how the problem can be fixed. To see what the federal government's responsibilities are for border security, let's look at what the Constitution has to say on the matter. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 15 states that Congress shall have the power to provide for calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. Now, an invasion does not necessarily mean an army, but also a large group of people entering the country. Elsewhere, in Article 4, Section 4, it says, "The U.S. shall protect each of the states against invasion, and on application of the legislator or the governor against domestic violence." In other words, the federal government must defend the states from foreign invasion, and also at the request of the state legislator or governor, give aid to quell domestic violence. So the federal government has the duty to protect the states at their borders. Now let's see what rights the states have to enforce their border. Remember that the states created the Union through the Constitution, and that the federal government has its power only because each state government has yielded some of their power to it. After all, one must remember that no creation is greater than its creator. On this matter, our fifth president, James Monroe, said, quote, "The powers delegated by the Constitution to the United States, to the federal government, are few and defined. Those which remain to the state governments are numerous and indefinite," end quote. What does the Constitution say for state governments' rights to enforce the border? The 10th Amendment says, "The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people." Additionally, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 states, "No state shall keep standing army in time of peace, unless actually invaded." This means if a state is refused help while under attack, then the state can act. Once again, an invasion can mean a large group of people illegally entering the country. These are the rights that the state governments have to enforce their borders. The steps needed for the state governments to effectively and lawfully control the border and protect American citizens are to enact protective laws. For example, in Arizona's case, they created the Illegal Alien Bill, or Senate Bill 1070, to ensure the protection of their border due to the huge influx of people having illegally entered. This bill does not contradict federal law. It is made to support and enforce the Constitution with laws of its own. This bill does not disagree with Article 6, Section 2 of the Constitution, that declares, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land." However, as you all know, the Ninth Circuit Court has recently repealed Arizona Senate Bill 1070 by a vote of 2-1. Boo! that the dissenting judge, Carlos B., wrote in his dissent that Congress intended for state and local police officers to participate in the enforcement of federal immigration law. End quote. So to protect our great country, I think other states should follow suit with their version of Arizona's illegal alien bill. After all, Governor Jan Brewer will defend this bill to the Supreme Court. It is the utmost necessity for the states to protect themselves while they are abiding to the federal immigration laws. Does it not make sense that the states do what's right and good for the law-abiding citizens of the United States? In closing, since the burden of illegal immigration is felt all over the nation and the federal government claims it is their job, the federal government needs to pay into building the Great Wall of America. After all, there are several historical examples of civilizations building walls. The ancient Romans built Hadrian's Wall in England. China built their Great Wall. Feudal Europe built walled cities. So now it's time to build our wall. Next, the Border Patrol needs to be allowed to do their job to patrol, arrest, and deport people who are caught illegally entering the United States. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ricconen, for doing it the right way. Right. Finally, each state has the right to protect their people and their border with protective laws as they see fit. If our borders are not protected, we will have no borders to protect. I challenge you all, and including the youth, to stay informed and support those who are taking a stand on this issue. Thank you, everyone.
That's our future.